bro. Now I didn't. Let me point this out. So I'm gonna. Let me admit to this right off the top.
What's up?
So we walk in here and I'm talking to Sal Licata. He's got like a 1987 Met jersey on. He says, "Well, Doc is coming into SNY today." I said, "Oh, okay, great. Tell Doc I'm pushing for him and Darryl to get the number retarded. Except I used an adjective, right? Like the F word adjective. No, let's get it right out there. The F word adjective to, say they got to get their, F word adjective number retired, right? Doc and Darryl. Now, I don't realize at the time that Ackerman is doing the update, right? Right here, as I'm saying that. So, and Sal's looking at me, Evan's like what's wrong with you? So, memo to Spike, Oliveira, if there's something, if you hear that, if that came over the update at all, I take full responsibility because that's the kind of guy.
Is that because you've become a podcast guy now, so you can curse on the podcast?
I wouldn't do that. Except I didn't realize that that Ackerman was on the air. Now, if I knew that, I wouldn't have said that.
Luckily, it was used in such a positive way.
It was very positive.
Can we retire their bleeping numbers?
Right. It was not done in any negative way whatsoever.
Right.
So
it was enthusiasm.
That's right. So I want everybody. So like I said, to Oliveira, or Spike, like I said, I take full responsibility. Because that's the kind of guy I am.
Sal's reaction was amazing.
Oh, it was great. And Sal's reaction, I finally realized why he was reacting that way.
You didn't know why he was reacting
because
that
I didn't know. I didn't realize Ackerman's doing the update. What do I know? I'm only a part-time guy. I'm only a lowly part-time employee. I mean, let's tell it like it is. You know?
Well, you're almost halfay through the week, bro. You're getting through it, man.
Bro, let me tell you.
No train issues yesterday?
No, thank God. No, it was great.
All right, good.
Let me tell you right now. It's, how did I do this for all these years? No, I ask myself this question. I have to tell you, I do. Unbelievable.
It's not. You always said this to me when we were doing middays, and middays is far different than this time slot.
Oh, God, yes.
The biggest part of the job, or the most difficult part of the job, was the commute.
No doubt.
Was the getting here and then getting back.
Yep.
That's for sure. Last night, the New York Yankees continued to stink.
Wow.
And that was really what happened last night. They got 2 hits. Gleyber Torres hit a bomb great. There was another hit by Anthony Volpe. And here's how you know your offense is bad. After the game, Aaron Boone recapped the 2 hits in his postgame press conference.
Did he say we stink yet?
Look, I think he's in a tough spot, all managers are, in that what the hell is he supposed to say? Like, I've mentioned you before, once in a while it'd be good to rip your team, and you can do it once in a while, but you can't come out after every game and say, look, we're inept. Hey, we can't score any runs. We all see it. It's all right in front of us. My worry now for the Yankees is that this is who they really are. Because if you look at the way they've played without Aaron Judge over an extended period of time, they are 6 games under 500. If you look at the way they've played without Aaron Judge since 2020, in the time that he's missed, they are a below 500 team. That's who they are. When Aaron Judge doesn't play baseball, the New York Yankees are 47-54. When Aaron Judge does play baseball, they win 60% of the time. So that's the good news. The good news is when Aaron Judge is there, they win a lot of games.
Right, but when will he be there?
That's the problem. We could sit here all day and talk about, well, when Judge comes back, they're this. When Judge comes back, they're that. We don't know, A, when he's going to come back, B, if he's going to be the same Aaron Judge, and can this Yankee team survive until that day?
Right.
Because here's the reality. They are a below 500 team when Aaron Judge doesn't play baseball. And if you go back to the second half of last year, in their last 162 games, the Yankees are an 84-win team. So isn't it possible that this is who the Yankees are? That the idea that, well, they're the Yankees, they'll figure it out.
Right.
That may not happen?
Well, they're not even playing like an 84-win team right now. I mean, let's be honest about it.
They aren't.
They're definitely not. And I told you this. I said this to you outside again earlier today. I really believe it. I don't know if Moreno's going to trade Ohtani or not. By the way, this guy's unbelievable.
Is he not?
Oh.
He's amazing.
I mean, really. Anyway, I don't know if he's going to trade Ohtani or not. I'm telling you, Cashman's going to inquire. He's going to try to make a deal to get Ohtani now. I really believe that.
Well, I think Yankee fans are hoping for that. But then Ken Rosenthal, who's a pretty, good, respected baseball
says no,
reporter.
He's not trading him?
No. He said something worse. Forget Shohei Ohtani. He said that at the trade deadline, the Yankees may be more concerned about getting under the top luxury tax line than actually adding and trying to win.
Are you serious?
The dealings at the deadline, according to Ken Rosenthal, might be influenced by a desire to get under the highest luxury tax threshold, according to sources with knowledge of the team's thinking, but not authorized to speak publicly. Currently, the Yankees are $1.1 million over that final tier, the Steve Cohen line, if you will,
Steve Cohen,
at $293 million. Now, that doesn't mean, according to Ken Rosenthal, the Yankees are going to sell. But what it means is that they're going to have an eye on that number. And if they're trying to improve the team, they may also simultaneously be removing contracts. So, for example, Luis Severino may be moved because he's owed $5 million the rest of the season. Wandy Peralta could be moved. Harrison Bader could be moved. Gleyber Torres could be moved. And that's a problem. Because if you're the New York Yankees right now and you're a Yankee fan, especially days after we heard they're adding a patch to their uniform that's going to net them $25 million a year.
I thought it was 20. Okay.
There is no Yankee fan that wants to hear about the luxury tax threshold as this team is spiraling out of control. That cannot be a thought if you're Hal Steinbrenner. That cannot be a thought. And that's not the New York Yankees I know, and it's certainly not the Yankees you know.
No, look, it's a different world with Hal. I mean, look, we know what the deal was if it would be happening if George was here. I mean, Boone be gone. Boone would have been gone a long time ago. Probably Cashman too. But I just find it hard to believe they're going to do that, bro. I really do. Unless, I will say this, if they really now go into a major funk where they do not, they go into this massive losing streak now.
Well,
then and they're under 500, then maybe I could see it happen.
So in our lifetime, basically, or at least my lifetime, because you've been around a hell of a lot longer.
A long time.
The New York Yankees have sold off one time in my lifetime. That was 2016. They sold off. They traded Andrew Miller to the Cleveland Indians.
Right. Chapman, did they trade Chapman? That's where
Chapman.
They got Gleyber, right? In that trade, right?
Exactly. So I was thinking back to that. Like, okay, this is the one example in the history of the Yankees over the last 30 years, the Brian Cashman era, if you will, where the Yankees actually sold. And I went back to July of 2016. The New York Yankees in July of 2016, standings-wise, was pretty much in the same place as they are now. They were 4 games out of a wild card spot when they traded Aroldis Chapman. 4 games. They were actually 3 games above 500. Where are they now? They're 4 games above 500.
Right.
They're 3 games out of a wild card spot. So standings-wise, it's not as if they were in a far different place than they were 2016. Now, that doesn't mean I think they're going to sell, because I also think this Yankee team, at least on paper, should be better. Like that Yankee team, if you think back to who they had in their lineup, Jacoby Ellsbury, Brett Gardner.
Well, I mean, this lineup is not exactly a murderer's row here,
It's not, but you know what
it's
not, but you know what they have that team didn't? There's one major difference.
What?
Aaron Judge.
What? But he's not here right now.
I understand, but he could walk through that door.
Well, that's the big difference.
Like,
You're
you
right
could
about
at
that.
least tell yourself, I got this guy coming back in the next 2 weeks.
Right.
That Yankee team in 2016, they weren't any good, and there was no savior walking through that door. So the Yankees made a decision, which I think turned out to be the right decision, of, look, we're not winning anything, so let's sell off these 2 excellent relievers for top-end prospects. And certainly in the case of Chapman, the deal worked out. The prospects they got back from Cleveland didn't exactly pan out. Clint Frazier, we hardly knew you.
Oh, that's right. Clint Frazier, right.
Justice Sheffield and whoever else they got back in that deal.
He was a pitcher, Sheffield.
He
right?
was. And then they traded him again. I think it was the another trade, the James Paxton trade, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, like where they were in 2016 ain't that different from where they are now. So you bring up an interesting point. If they lose tonight and they lose 2 out of 3 to Kansas City, and all of a sudden we are days from the deadline and they're 5 games out of a wild card spot, are they going to buy?
Yeah.
Are they going to try to win? Because they clearly need to buy if they want to make the postseason and maybe go on a deep postseason run. It's more than just Judge coming back. They need more than that if they're going to get to the level of expectations Yankee fans once had for them.
Hey, look, just and who knows when Judge is coming? It might be too late by the time he gets back. We don't know that either.
Judge coming back and the deadline may be too late.
Right.
That's why right now. And I don't want to hear it's July 19th. There's a lot of time. Got stories about the Braves from a few years ago or the Phillies from last year. The New York Yankees have to win freaking baseball games. There's no messing around anymore.
No, you're right.
To quote you, there's no bleeping around anymore.
No.
They got to win. And last night was beyond pathetic. I mean, it just was. Like, to walk away with 2 hits against Patrick Sandoval, like every single night, Joe, they're getting shut down by guys that are not that good.
No, I understand. Well, I mean, because right now they're not that good. I mean, it really comes down. And I think the biggest thing, I mean, you look at some of these guys in the lineup and you say, okay, I mean, really, these are the guys that got. But there are guys. I mean, when you're talking about Stanton and obviously LeMahieu and obviously Rizzo, and these guys just are giving them nothing.
That's the thing.
I mean, let's be real.
Like, I'll give you, I'd agree, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is what he is. Kyle Higashioka or Jose Trevino, they are what they are. And we'll put Volpe aside because we really don't know what he is.
Right. Well, honestly, we know he's a rookie yet. That's what we know.
We know he's a rookie. And let's be honest, other than 2 weeks, he's done nothing this season. Let's just call it like it is about Anthony Volpe. He's hitting 209. He got hot after the chicken parm story came out. And what is he, like 2 for his last 30?
Yeah, not good.
But you're right, Joe. DJ LeMahieu has to be better than 231. Anthony Rizzo, I don't know what else there's to say about this guy.
Unbelievable.
And then your guy, Giancarlo Stanton.
Yep.
And what scares me about Stanton now is, though the question's always been, can he stay healthy? But even when he's been healthy last year and this year, he's hitting right around 200.
And he's not hitting home runs. How many home runs? He got 12?
He's not hitting enough.
Right. Exactly.
So you've got guys in this lineup, and Glaber's been fine, so put him aside.
Yeah.
Hit the home run yesterday.
He's been good. He's been hot lately, actually.
And he's been their best offensive player.
Right.
Like, excluding Judge because he doesn't play enough, their most consistent offensive player in 2023 is Glaber Torres, and it ain't even close, to be quite frank. But Stanton, Rizzo, and LeMahieu are destroying this team right now. They're destroying this team. And so, yeah, logically, you'd say Brian Cashman's going to be aggressive before the trade deadline. You've certainly thought that. Most of us have thought that. But if they continue to sink, the track record says maybe they don't buy. Maybe they go the other way, because in 2016, that's exactly what they did when they made the decision to trade Aroldis Chapman and Andrew Miller.
So they got one more game with the Angels tonight. Actually, it's an early afternoon game in Anaheim.
Yes. Normal start for all of us.
7 o'clock. Right.
Yes.
Right. Then they play the Royals at home.
The 28-68 Kansas City Royals.
And then they play the Mets, right? 2 after that?
And then they play the still under 500 New York Mets.
And then who they play after that?
And that's the problem, Joe. Because
Baltimore?
after that, that's when the schedule stiffens. That's why I always looked at July 28th as the day where they need Aaron Judge back and they need to get things straightened out, because they play the Baltimore Orioles, who shockingly have lost a couple of games in a row. They play the Tampa Bay Rays. They play the Houston Astros. It's a tough schedule.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't even matter who they're playing. They're losing to the Angels and the Rockies.
Yep.
But they've got to figure this out soon. Because between the Ken Rosenthal theory of, hey, they're concerned about the luxury tax threshold, and the fact that they're sinking in the standings every day, and our only frame of reference to the Yankees selling was 2016 when they were right around 500 and 3 or 4 games out of a wild card spot, you start to wonder, are they going to make the decision to go the other way and not buy as aggressively as we once thought?
Yeah, well, I know. I'm still erring on the side that they're going to try to make a big splash at the deadline. I really am.
And it's crazy, though. They kind of need to.
Yeah, no, I know.
Because
I know they do.
Even with Judge coming back, and yeah, the Yankees over the last 3 years, when Aaron Judge is healthy, win 60% of the time. That's a good baseball team.
Yeah,
and they've been a good baseball team. But I think you look at the flaws on this team, the issue in left field that's existed for a while now. You're getting nothing offensively from catcher. We'll see about third base now with Peraza getting more of an opportunity. They're getting nothing out of first base with Rizzo. And I brought this up to you yesterday. There has to come a point where you don't play him anymore. Now, you need a better option to do that, which right now they don't have. But that's where the trade deadline can come in. And then the other thing is this bullpen is not as good as we all once thought it was.
Yeah. No, it's starting to come back to reality, the bullpen. Right. No, you're right, bro. I mean, look, and that was the strength of the team most of the year, let's be honest.
It was, and right now they don't have a strength of the team.
There is no strength.
The strength of the
strength of the team is when Garrett Cole is pitching.
Yeah.
And then when he comes out after 6 innings, hold your breath.
Exactly.
Like the other night, basically, right?
And if you're a Yankee fan who, watches other baseball, so, you got home last night after work and you said, you know what? Yankees don't start till 9:30.
Let me put the Mets on.
Let me put the Mets on. Maybe I'll flip to the Brave game. I'm going to look around baseball. And you see the scores around baseball last night. The Mets win 11-10. We'll get to them in a second. The Braves lose 16-13.
Yep.
There's double-digit runs being scored everywhere.
Yeah.
It almost gave you this false sense of security of, hey, we're going to score some runs tonight.
Yeah.
And then you manage 2 hits on a night where every team in baseball is scoring 10 or 11 runs in a weird way that probably made last night worse.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. Well, watching this guy, this Ohtani, man, and we don't see him a lot. Maybe I don't know if you're watching Angel games on the West Coast.
I mean, not every day, that's for sure.
So, I don't see him a lot. So, and the Mets haven't played the Angels yet, right?
They do. They'll play them next month at Citi Field.
So he's coming to Citi Field. That's a big deal.
It's after the deadline.
Unless he's a Yankee. Right. He might be a Yankee by then. So, who knows? But, boy, oh, boy, he's unbelievable, this guy.
Isn't he?
Unbelievable.
I think for a while, he puts up very good offensive numbers. He puts up really good pitching numbers, and that's mind-boggling to begin with. That's enough to be the best player in baseball.
Right,
but what he's doing this year offensively is he's matching what Aaron Judge did a year ago.
God.
And I think to comprehend that, 1,000 OPS, a 300 average, home runs every other game, and then you throw in, by the way, he's a top 7 pitcher in all Major League Baseball. He's a true specimen. It's why I've always said, man, he gets to free agency, I would bid anything for him.
Well, Uncle Steve will.
Well,
you know that. I don't think there's any doubt. Unless the Yankees traded for him and somehow they signed him to a deal, if he's out there at free agent next year, Uncle Steve's going full bore for this guy. And he better. I got to tell you, as a Met fan, he better go full bore for him.
This is the free agent for the Mets and the Yankees. There's no excuse to stop short at any number.
No.
That's the way I look at it.
No, I'm with you, man.
And here's the thing about the Yankees. As much as, you hear this story from Ken Rosenthal about they're concerned about the tax threshold, they're concerned about this. Here's my one tiny defense of Hal Steinbrenner. When they have targeted a free agent, and I mean targeted a free agent, they always get their man. They wanted CC Sabathia. And I'll never forget that offseason. All we heard was CC does not
go to the West Coast.
That's it. He does not want to come here. And the New York Yankees said, okay, we'll see about that. Shock and awe. And they offered him such a huge contract. CC Sabathia said, forget it, I'm coming to New York. And then he grew to love New York.
He lives in Jersey. I think he lives in Alpine.
Yeah, he loves the place.
Yep.
They wanted CC. They would not be denied. Garrett Cole becomes a free agent a couple of years ago. Now, Garrett was interested in New York, but it was we will not be denied free agency. And they got him. When the New York Yankees target a guy, they always seem to get him. Ohtani's the example where they didn't, but the one thing about Ohtani is they couldn't offer the absurd amount of money that you could offer in true free agency.
Right.
So the Ohtani one I kind of put aside.
Right.
But when they have really, really wanted a free agent, they always seem to get the guy. Now, I think the disagreement Yankee fans have had is that they haven't wanted the right guys. There were a lot of Yankee fans 3 years ago who said Bryce Harper is the right guy. Yankees disagreed with you. Manny Machado's the right guy. Well, guess what? The Yankees disagreed with you. But when they actually full-bore want a guy, they always get him. Shohei Ohtani, more than any other free agent ever, and I mean that, ever, including A-Rod, who got to free agency at 25 years old. This is the most you got to go get this guy free agent I've ever seen in Major League Baseball. So whether it's the New York Yankees or it's the New York Mets, once we get there and we still have a few months, you should go as far as you need to go to the point where I'd give him a blank check and say, you fill it out.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Well, and maybe that's what it's going to be. How much? What do you want?
Yeah.
It could be.
But one of the negative effects of the Yankees losing the last 2 nights is that the team they've been losing to are the Los Angeles Angels. And guess what? They're 500 now.
Right. So they're looking at themselves as being back in it now.
Well, do you think the Yankees are in the playoff race?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. They're on the fringe of it. I'll say that.
I mean, they're 2.5 games out.
Right.
They're right there.
They're not playing like a playoff team.
They're not playing like one, but mathematically they're 2.5 out.
Right.
Well, the Angels are 4.5 out.
Right.
So the Angels are probably thinking to themselves, hey, we just beat the Yankees 2 games in a row, a team we need to jump above if we want to get a wild card spot. Why would we trade the best player on the planet? We think we have a shot. So the other negative effect, if you're a Yankee fan who thinks they have a chance at Ohtani, is the last 2 days probably hurt your chances of getting him because it may reinforce to Artie Moreno, hey, we got a shot. Why would we trade this guy? Why would we give him up? Why would we move on from him when we're only 3 games, 4.5 games back out of a playoff spot?
Any chance he stays there? He likes California. I mean, is there any chance that Moreno just gives him such a ridiculous number that he stays there?
Look, none of us know Shohei Ohtani, so we're all guessing. Like I heard Keith McPherson say last night, and I get where he's coming from with this as a diehard Yankee fan. He basically said to Yankee fans, stop dreaming of Ohtani. He doesn't want to come here. And he's drawn that conclusion. And I get that. I think Keith thinks, and a lot of Yankee fans think, well, the guy turned us down 6 years ago. He shows that extra motivation when he plays the Yankees. He's a West Coast guy, everything we heard. I think a lot of Yankee fans don't trust Hal. They don't trust that he's going to spend the kind of money. And so I think that there's this natural we're not getting him feeling, which is unusual for Yankee fans. For a long time, it was the opposite. Like we're going to get this guy. But none of us truly know what makes him tick. None of us truly know what he's thinking. Is it squarely who's going to offer me the most money? Is it squarely I just want to win? I don't care where I play. It could be on another planet. Just I want to go to the team with the best chance to win. And by the way, if that's his choice, then the Yankees and Mets are behind the LA Dodgers.
Yeah, well, of course.
You know, we're not catching them. They're in the playoffs every single year. They've been to World Series recently. They've won one.
Yeah. Boy, I hate the Dodgers.
Don't we all?
No, I really. I mean, they have now surpassed everybody from my hatred in baseball.
Really? They're number one?
I hate them. I just do. I can't stand them.
Over the Braves?
Oh, yeah. I do.
That I disagree with.
Well, you could disagree with it, but I can't stand it. I just can't stand them.
So if the Atlanta Braves...
I think part of it is because the fans are such, what.
No, listen, so are Brave fans. They're jackasses. Oh, yeah.
I've never... Now, see, I don't know. I've never been to a game in Atlanta.
Ask our buddy Sal Licata what he thinks of Brave fans. He'll let you know.
Was he down there? Well, that's right. He's a Falcon guy.
He knows the full wrath of Brave fans, but if the Braves played the Dodgers in the NLCS, number one, you would not watch. I know.
Yeah,
I
understand
could care
that.
Less. But then you wake up the next morning and you turn on the TV and you want to say, I wonder who won Game 7 of the NLCS.
Right.
There wouldn't be a part of you that says, boy, I hope the Braves lose.
I don't care. When we get to the point that my team is not involved anymore, right? It just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, when I get to the point where, like, my team is not involved whatsoever, it's not like a regular season game that means something to the Mets.
Yeah, but wait, hold on. That's not that's not true, though. Here's why.
How's that?
I'll give you a perfect example from recently. Recently, and I remember you telling me.
Right.
New York Knicks get eliminated.
Right.
Your team's out.
Right.
Miami's playing Boston.
Oh, I was rooting for the Heat all the way.
There you go.
Not even debating.
There you go. Game 7 after the Celtics come back from 3-0.
I will say, though, there's a little caveat to that. Because, look, if it was just a normal series... And, the Celtics won Game 7, but, it was a normal series. Boston won the first 2 at home. Miami won there, too.
Right.
It wasn't a situation where the Heat were up 3-0, and now the Celtics have come back to force a 7th game. It's a little different. Who wants to see the Celtics be the only team in NBA history to come back from a 3-0 to win?
Yeah, I get you.
So that's a little different situation there.
I agree with you that the Dodgers have moved up my list of teams I hate. But right now, I think in the National League, the Atlanta Braves take the cake.
I mean, I understand that they're in our division. Not for long, though.
Not for long, right.
The days of the Braves, like I say, within 5 years, they'll be completely, everything will be realigned.
Oh, no, I completely agree with you.
Realigned.
This setting us up for this, Mike.
No doubt.
So,
with the schedule playing every team.
And they're doing little things. They did something a little dirty I picked up on a few days ago. You ready for this?
Go ahead.
They're infiltrating our kids' minds.
How's that?
I'll tell you right now. So there's a game that Jet, my oldest son, loves to play called tap baseball. And it's
baseball.
And it's great because he's learning baseball. He's playing the game. He's into it. He's a great time. So he plays tap baseball as the New York Mets, his favorite team. And he's like, Dad, you got to see the standings. I'm like, oh, let me see how you're doing. He shows me he's in first place. I said, great. Who are you in a race with? The Braves, the Phillies? He's like, no. I'm in a race with the Red Sox and the Yankees, and then there's the Phillies. I'm like, what the hell is this?
That's the new division.
They created the new divisions in tap baseball so that our kids would say, this is what's normal.
Right.
So that when they put it upon us, Jet's going to disagree with me and say, this is great. You know what? Want to know why? It's just like tap baseball. So that's why Major League Baseball, those evil geniuses.
And that'll be the division, too.
Yeah.
You hit it. Maybe a 5-team division.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do.
Another team, maybe Toronto.
We'll get to your calls coming up. Also, the Met game last night, which caused great stress if you hung in there for that entire 3.5-hour fest.
They had it all the way.
Did they? Sure. I could have sworn until that final out they were going to lose that game.
I know.
We are coming to you live from the Town Fair Tire Studios, powered by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Jackpocket is the #1 rated lottery app. Let you order official state lottery games on your phone. Jackpocket's already paid out over $250 million, including somebody in Brooklyn who won $7 million on Cash for Life.
Wow.
Download the Jackpocket app.
That wouldn't be enough for Lugauer, though. $7 million's not enough, Lou.
Well, hold on, Lugauer. By the way, we have an issue. And I apologize. We'll finish this read in a second. We have breaking news that needs to be addressed.
Oh, okay. Let me hear it.
So yesterday on the program, late in the show, we were talking about winning the lottery and what we would do. And Loogie had a hilarious
just a phenomenal segment
about how he's leaving his wife and he's moving to Ibiza.
Where's that place again?
Yeah, I'm going to Ibiza, and my wife's hitting the bricks.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's going to be dating Margot Robbie.
Yeah, supermodels.
Okay.
Swimming in them.
All great, all funny.
Right.
This morning I get up, I want my news updates. I want to see what's going on in the world, all right?
Okay.
I get a Fox News alert.
Go ahead.
Ibiza's beaches have been closed because they have found way too much human fecal matter in the water.
What?
In Ibiza?
Yeah.
In the water?
In the water.
That's no good. All right, Mykonos. We got to change plans.
Are you changing now?
It does. Yeah.
You really heard this today?
Is that true?
I swear.
You must have fell over when you heard that.
I couldn't believe it.
That's
I get a Fox News alert, and then I get a text message from my dad who says, "This is where Loogie wants to move."
Bro.
Filled with fecal matter.
Oh, my God.
It's a true. Are you looking at it?
I am. I don't see it, but I think you're pulling my leg here.
I'm not pulling your leg.
It's like walking the streets of San Francisco.
Ibiza's paradise, but that's not a good look.
Come on.
I'm not making this up. I'll send you the link to the article. I'll tweet it out so the world can see it.
This is why there's nothing better than just the Jersey Shore. That's it.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because nothing like that could ever happen there, right?
Well, luckily, supermodels are flexible and they'll go wherever the yacht money
Wherever
is.
the big money is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Headline: Vacationers turned away from beach oasis after stomach-churning discovery made in the water.
That's terrible.
Vacationers on Spain's famed Ibiza Island are being turned away from the beach after the discovery of high-level fecal matter in the water.
You know what's funny? You know what the funny part about it? Did you even know Ibiza existed until yesterday?
So you know what's
There's no baseball team in Ibiza.
No. Did you know? Because I didn't know. I didn't know
the
Ibiza.
only reason it sounded familiar, and I was racking my brain because I was like, "This sounds familiar," is because Craig made a comment about Ibiza like 3 months ago, and I remember
was he there? Did Craig go to Ibiza?
I'm sure he did.
Okay.
And I think I said to him, "What the hell's Ibiza?"
Right.
And he explained. He's like, "Oh, this is for the rich of the rich.
Okay.
They go there.
Right.
But before that, Joe, no idea."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I never heard of Ibiza till yesterday when Tommy was going on about it.
The local city council closed the beach at Playa Espinete this week after water tests from the beach's cove found an amount of fecal matter that exceeded approved safety levels.
Wow.
Not good.
No, you got to reevaluate now.
Got to reevaluate.
Luke, you got to reevaluate.
That's all good. Mykonos, wherever.
Mykonos
Paris.
is good now?
Oh, yeah.
You going to go to Paris now?
Aruba, wherever.
Is it? Yeah, but how good is the weather in Paris overall?
Not great. Not great.
So you don't want to go there.
Not great. That'll be a pit stop.
If you go to Paris, though, I'll stop by in mid-January.
You can go there. You can
Nets
stop.
Cavs, January 11th. I'll see you there, Luke.
You can stop by there to pick up Margot.
That's it.
all.
Margot, Sydney Sweeney, they're all in.
Sydney Sweeney. I haven't seen Sydney. I got to check that out.
Yep.
You have to show me a picture. Later.
This is devastating. I can't believe this is true. I'm
Of
seeing the
course
story
it's
right
true.
now. Connor pulled it up for me.
Thank you. I wouldn't make this
Wow.
up.
Well, you would, but
Would
you're
Evan lie to you?
No.
He would mess with me, but I'm reading the story now.
This is a real Fox News alert, man.
Wow.
Jack
Well, I'm
Pocket.
going to have to tell Tam we can't go to Ibiza.
It's off the calendar.
Tam, if you're listening, no Ibiza, all right?
Cancel the flight.